Hey everyone, welcome back to Twinkle Hype. Today, we have one wild story for you, a story that honestly sounds too unbelievable to be real. Imagine spending your childhood not in a classroom or a backyard but on movie sets, watching cameras roll, watching your dad transform into legendary characters, and doing your homework inside trailers while explosions go off outside. That was the childhood of Patrick Schwarzenegger, son of Arnold Schwarzenegger, a kid who grew up in the beating heart of Hollywood. Today, we're diving into what Patrick recently revealed about his early life on movie sets, the real behind-the-scenes experience, the fun, the candy carts, the rides, the surreal moments, and the way all of it shaped his path to becoming an actor. So buckle up because what you're about to hear isn't just a sweet childhood memory. It's a deep look into how Hollywood magic influences a kid and turns him into a rising star. Before we jump in, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Trust me, you are going to want to discuss this one. Imagine being 8 years old, and instead of heading home after school, you hop into a golf cart, ride through the Universal Studios lot, and step right onto a movie set where your dad is filming massive blockbuster scenes. Patrick explained that his favorite activity growing up was tagging along to movie sets. While most kids were doing homework at a kitchen table, Patrick was doing his inside a trailer surrounded by makeup kits, props, and costume racks. He remembered how surreal it was to watch his dad walk into a trailer as just dad and walk out dressed as a completely different person, a character ready to enter an action scene. He would sit there with school assignments while the makeup team worked on Arnold, and he absorbed everything happening around him. And it only gets better. Patrick also said that between scenes he got to roam Universal Studios, ride the Jaws ride, hop on the E.T. attraction, and grab candy from craft services like it was a personal buffet. He described the experience as magical, almost unreal, the kind of childhood most kids would dream of but never get close to. This wasn't a once-in-a-blue-moon treat. This was his normal life. Movie sets became his playground and his classroom. He watched camera crews do their thing, saw sound engineers set up equipment, and learned how films came together from the inside. Most of us grow up watching movies and wondering what it's like behind the scenes. Patrick grew up living behind the scenes. These experiences didn't just make for great memories. They planted the seed for something bigger. As he got older, Patrick began to realize something important. Being on set didn't just feel fun. It felt right. It felt like home. He started to understand why those childhood moments felt magical. He loved acting. He loved the energy on set. He loved watching characters come alive and stories unfold through performance and production. A lot of kids with famous parents might drift away from the industries their families built. But for Patrick, it was the opposite. The more he watched, the more he knew he wanted to be part of this world. He started taking acting classes, performing in small roles, slowly carving out something that wasn't handed to him but earned. This wasn't just a hobby. This was passion turning into ambition. And when he started getting roles, small at first, then bigger, people began realizing that he wasn't just riding the wave of a famous name. He genuinely had talent, charisma, and drive. Eventually, he landed roles in series like The Terminal List and later The White Lotus, and it became clear he wasn't just Arnold's son anymore. He was becoming Patrick Schwarzenegger, the actor. But here's where the story takes a turn. Because while his childhood on movie sets was magical, his rise in Hollywood came with a different kind of challenge, the Nepo baby label. He talked openly about how heavy that label felt. Some people assumed he got roles only because of who his father is. Some dismissed his hard work before even watching him perform. At one point, Patrick considered changing his last name completely just to get away from the assumptions and start fresh. He wanted to walk into auditions without anyone judging him before he opened his mouth. But he pushed through. He kept the name and decided to prove himself with his work, even when it meant facing extra scrutiny. He trained, auditioned constantly, faced rejection, and went through the same struggles every emerging actor faces, if not more. He refused to take shortcuts. He refused to let assumptions define him. And eventually, directors and producers saw what he could really do. Not because of his dad's fame, but because Patrick himself had something to offer. And all of this brings us to the emotional core of his story. Being a celebrity kid can seem glamorous, But Patrick revealed it also comes with pressure that most people don't see. He said the Nepo baby label followed him for years. And it wasn't just a small annoyance. It made him question his identity, his path, and whether he could forge his own reputation separate from his father. Imagine carrying a legendary last name that opens doors but also makes every success feel like it's being judged. Patrick admitted that he battled with these thoughts. Should he distance himself? Should he reinvent himself? But instead of running away from the name, he decided to face the weight of it. He chose to stay as Schwarzenegger, not because he wanted the privilege, but because he wanted to redefine what it meant in his own way. After years of persistence, training, dedication, and thick skin, he started earning roles on his own merit. And over time, he turned that label from something that held him down into something he could rise above. Patrick's story is more than Hollywood nostalgia. It's a lesson in passion, work ethic, and identity. His childhood might have been filled with candy carts, movie sets, and incredible access, but the dream he chased came from inside him, not from his last name. There are clear lessons here. Passion matters more than privilege. Being around the industry didn't guarantee success. What made the difference was the spark he felt on those sets. Hard work beats assumptions. Even with doors open, he knew he had to prove he belonged. Identity is something you create, not something given. He didn't let criticism push him away from who he was. He used it as fuel. And childhood experiences matter more than we realize. Those early moments watching movie magic shaped him. They didn't just entertain him. They directed him toward his future. If you've ever wondered whether your dream is silly or out of reach, think about Patrick. Sometimes the thing that lights you up as a kid becomes the thing that defines your adult life. You just have to chase it. If you found Patrick's journey as wild and inspiring as I did, hit like right now. Comment and tell me what childhood experience pushed you toward your passion or shaped who you are today. Share this video with someone who loves Hollywood stories or needs a spark of inspiration. And make sure you subscribe to Twinkle Hype for more unbelievable celebrity journeys and behind-the-scenes stories. Until next time, keep dreaming big and keep the hype alive.